Hey, how are you? I'm Duncan McPherson, and welcome back to my channel. Apologize for the way I sound. I got a really bad cold right now, so please just bear with me. Today is the first of a two-part video series where we're going to dive into audit issues when it comes to operating your business right here in the Great White North. That was my driveway this morning. I'll try to make this as painless as I can for you. But for more tips on how you can better navigate the Canadian tax system as a U.S. business, or better yet, you can contact me directly at themactax.com for some extra, more personalized assistance and to avoid all the bull you're probably experiencing along the way. So if you're a U.S. business dipping your toes into the Canadian marketplace, you have probably already asked yourself, what does the CRA look for in an audit? Am I right? And that is exactly what we're going to talk about in this first part, is what exactly triggers an audit. So listen up, because you definitely do not want to experience this I'm going to be talking about. Now, first we must address, why does the CRA care about US businesses? Now, why would the CRA even care about your US business in the first place? Well, that's easy. Our government is broke and our economy is shrinking. So we need you. So naturally, Canada wants its share of the tax pie. Make sense? Okay, so let's talk about what will trigger CRA to audit and come after you. Okay, so let's get to the juicy part. What grabs CRA's attention? Here are the top triggers for an audit. The first, and they like this one a lot, is failure to register for our national sales tax, the GST/HST. If your business earns more than $30,000 a year from Canadian customers, you are required to register, collect, and remit our national sales tax. If you're skipping this step, CRA will notice. And trust me, they're not the forgiving type. The national sales tax are considered trust funds, period. I actually went over this in quite some detail in a previous video, and you can watch it now just by tapping right up here. The second thing that will trigger an audit, and this one's obvious, is if you fail to report revenue. If your reported revenues do not align with your payment processing data, like PayPal or Stripe records, that's a huge red flag to CRA. And CRA loves saying like this. And more to the point, we have codified CRA's ability to obtain information about you from third-party processors. And not only that, it's real easy for them to catch it and come after you when they do. So again, just make sure everything gets reported, and I promise you that's all there is to it. You can avoid this trigger altogether by that simple step. Okay, the next way you may trigger an audit is by paying employees as subcontractors. And I know this is a big deal in the US, just like it is up here. Okay, so be honest with me for a second. Are you calling your workers independent contractors when they're technically employees? Well, believe it or not, that's a big no-no, and I know you believe it because it's a big no-no in the US too. The CRA scrutinizes labor classifications to ensure that you're not avoiding payroll withholdings. Newsflash, they're doing that in the US too. If you have a large subcontractor line on your income statement, you are more than likely to get an inquiry letter from CRA. The ugly news, the really ugly news is the CRA computers can generate this letter and send it to you without a human ever having looked at your file. So be sure to talk to a Canadian CPA who knows their in this area, because CRA, like the IRS, watches this stuff like a flock of vultures. Okay, the fourth way you may trigger an audit is through your shipping data. Do you ship physical goods to Canada? Well, customs records don't lie. So if you're selling products up north and not reporting those sales, CRA will piece it together. CRA has real-time access to customs records. And in fact, before 9/11, Canada Customs and the Canada Revenue Agency were one and the same entity. So their computers talk really easily. So regardless of any other facts or circumstances, if you're shipping goods up here, talk to a Canadian CPA and find out about all your tax obligations. Or you may also want to talk to a Canadian CPA who is also familiar with US tax to avoid that double taxation scenario. And the last way to get yourself screwed up here is with your social media and online presence. Believe it or not, CRA can and does look at your social media posts. So if you're bragging about your robust growing Canadian sales and not reporting that income, consider yourself on their radar. So please don't do this. The real here is CRA doesn't even have to waste their time searching your digital bragging. They could ask ChatGPT to go do it for them. Okay, as far as I know, CRA currently is not doing this, but they are very likely to in the future. So make sure if you're bragging about your Canadian sales, and we really do like it when you do, that you have accurately completed and filed your Canadian tax returns on time. Stated more simply, be prepared to put your money where your mouth is. Okay, now that we've discussed how you may trigger an audit, our next video will discuss what happens during the audit process. But for now, if you're looking to get great guidance through this mess, contact me through my website, themactax.com, because that's what I'm here for. You're here to run your business as smoothly as possible, so let me do all the dirty work for you. Or better yet, just click on that link below to get started. We can work it all together. And thank you for watching as always. I'll see you on the next video. Take care until then.